back to When in Rome with Kate
and Caroline.
This is the second part of our last episode where we were talking about all of our favorite places, every place that we went to and ranking them.
Yes.
So I'm going to pick up from there.
Yes, so I think Kate's on 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, okay, this is on my 5th favorite place, which again is like still somewhere awesome.
Yes.
I did Florence for my next one, which is funny because that's where you studied.
That's where I studied.
But I loved Florence. I feel like my time there was kind of, I know we talked about this last time, like my time there was honestly perfect though.
Yeah.
Because it's so small.
Yeah.
So like that's I think why it's not higher up on my list.
Yeah.
But I did really like it and I had fun. And I've kind of felt like a college town to me.
Yeah.
In a good way, which I really liked.
Mm.
So like going out felt like going out in like your college town. Like you run into people, you'd be like, oh hey.
For sure.
But Barcelona's so big that it's not like everyone that you know is at one place at one time.
That's how it was in Florence. Like there's a bar called like Lion's Den or Lions Fountain.
I went
called
there.
No, you didn't.
Wait, is that the one that has all the colleges?
Yes.
Yeah, I went there.
OMG. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
it's just because there's only it's like bars.
Everyone's going out to Lions Fountain or whatever.
And there's like one club.
Yeah. And so it was just like you guys were always like traveling in packs, and like every time you go out you see someone, and half of UNC was there, you know. And it's not like they're my best friends from UNC, but like they're people I had recognized.
Yeah.
Before. So that was just like it was definitely like it was kind of like going out here.
Yeah, which is like kind of fun for like.
It's kind of fun, but it's also just like this is probably not the reason why I studied abroad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, less meeting.
But I knew that going into Florence just because it's such a popular area to study abroad. Yeah, for UNC especially. But
but it was really cool.
Yeah, Florence is cool.
Michelangelo is awesome. I loved walking.
Did you see the Duomo?
So, well, I've stayed with my friend who was studying abroad there, and she lived like a 2-minute walk from the Duomo. So her walk back from class was just walking by the Duomo. I was like, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So her place where she was living was so cool. I liked that it was really walkable because I like to be able to walk everywhere. That's my one thing about Barcelona. I mean, it is walkable within parts, but also you need to be able to use the metro, which is very easy to do, but still a little bit more of a hassle. It's nice to be able to walk places and kind of like, I feel like I understood, like Florence, like I was able to have a better sense of direction just because you can walk from place to place, but Barcelona, it took me a while to like be able to figure out how the city was laid out just because I wasn't, like it was a lot of times we were like Ubering or metroing and then you have no idea where you really are because you just pop up and you're somewhere else.
No, from like I never Ubered inside of Florence. I feel like I never like.
Yeah, well, I think aren't there no Ubers?
There
I think I had that issue.
Or maybe there aren't. I didn't even ever order one.
I think you can call a cab, but there's no Ubers. Because I remember that because I went and stayed with my friend. I could be wrong, but I was planning on Ubering to the airport, and she was like, "No, there's no Ubers," and I was like, "Oh." So I'm so used to Ubering to the airport and
I guess we did. We definitely did take a taxi to the airport, but they were just like when we got out of the airport, there was just like this sign that was like taxi, and then we just all stood in line and they just come picked us up.
The way to do it is the tram. I learned that. My trip to Florence, I feel like I maybe talked about this in a different episode, was wildly chaotic though getting there because our airline basically got delayed but didn't say anything to us, and then an hour after we were supposed to depart they were like, we're actually going to go to Pisa, and Pisa's like an hour away from Florence, and I like was just going by myself to visit my friend in Florence, so I didn't know anyone. Like I wasn't traveling with anyone, and I was kind of freaking out because it was like, oh, of course we're like going to Pisa. That's nowhere near where I need to be, and I didn't really know what we were gonna do. And then they like were we got into Florence, and then it was this whole debacle. And we get out of the plane, and then I realized I forgot my purse, so I like I had to run back up on the plane and then get on a different bus because I had made a friend who was in my first bus with me, and we were gonna like take a taxi together, so then I lost her. But long story short, it ended up being fun. I made friends who were in my program who were on my plane as well, and then we all took the tram together after the bus that picked us up and took us to Florence. But the tram is easy to work from the Florence airport. The Florence airport's teeny.
It's so small. So I flew into Munich in Germany, and then we flew from Munich to Florence, and I it didn't really fly before. Yeah. Like this is like pretty much like my first time flying, and we take this tiny plane into Florence. In the air, and like the runway strip is so small, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, that was the hardest landing.
Yeah,
it's not like I've flown a lot to know the difference, but like my neck was like jerking.
Yeah. Like,
I was like, this thing, But anyway, the girl that sat beside me is also on my program. And we still keep up in touch. She's super cool. So I feel like it's like crazy who you meet on planes.
Absolutely. And I feel like
she actually goes to Western.
Really?
Yeah. She plays soccer for Western.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, and people were maybe this was just my luck, but I feel like I always sat next to really chatty people.
Yeah.
On the planes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times when you're traveling within the U.S., it's like kind of just put your AirPods in.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it's a European thing. I don't know. But it was really fun because I would always most of my plane rides, I wasn't watching a movie or doing anything. I was just kind of talking to whoever was around me because they're so short too. I think it's part of it. Like no one wants to talk for 5 hours, but if it's like an hour and a half,
right,
people are more chatty.
Yeah, so that's how it
met a lot of cool people.
When I flew from like Charlotte to Germany, I like sat beside this like family and I like talked to this couple for probably like the first hour or something, and I can't remember their story exactly, but she's a high school teacher like somewhere, and it's near Charlotte area, and it's just like a small world, you know.
Yeah.
But they're actually going to Florence too.
Yeah.
It's like kind of crazy, but anyway. You just went, right? So it's my turn.
Yeah, I think. Wait, yeah, I just went. So it's your turn.
So my last place that I traveled to was Venice, and I loved Venice, but it was really hot when we went to Venice. And there was a lot of stairs. And it kind of didn't smell the best. Yeah. And the air conditioning was broken in our Airbnb, and like there was mosquito. I don't know.
It's kind of ruins your experience.
Yeah. So like the area of Venice itself wasn't like what made it my least, like the 7th on my list. It was more so the experience.
The trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Venice. Literally the only reason we went is because like, oh, it's the sinking city, like you have to see it before like it's never there again type of thing. But I'm glad I saw it, but I will probably go back. Yeah. It was just like, yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But just not to stay for a long time, I guess. Yeah.
It's expensive.
You know? Yeah. I struggled ranking a lot of these because I really liked most of the places that I went. So I'll just go in order. But I did Dublin. And I love Dublin, so I wanted to put that higher. I could move that for sure up and bump some down. I really like Dublin. Yeah. It felt similar-ish to Florence in a way that it was pretty small and relatively walkable. We definitely Ubered more. Like it was bigger. It was bigger for sure. Than Florence, but it had a similar like small town feel. Yeah. Kind of also felt a little Christmassy. I really liked it. So this is kind of tied with my last few. Yeah. But Munich, I really liked. There wasn't as much to do in Munich in general, but I thought it was really cool. I had zero expectations for Munich. I just went for Oktoberfest. Okay. And Oktoberfest itself, that trip would be way higher up in my list. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. But Munich in general, I did really actually enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah. But I just don't think I would go there to stay for a super long time. But honestly, I might. Ranking this was so hard. I could also kick some out for Munich. I really liked Munich. And the food was so good. And the way that they had their restaurant set up was cool. And I thought it was kind of different than other places. But basically, it was like all the restaurants that we went into were these huge tables. Oh. Like, they were just like these massive tables. So I guess everyone just goes out to eat in like groups of like 20. I have no idea. What? But I was just with one of my friends, and we were like trying to, like, anywhere we'd go, like, where they're like, table for 2. Like, what do you mean?
Oh, everyone just travels in packs.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe it was partly Oktoberfest, but it was just such a fun environment because people like walk around the entire city in their dirndls. Oh. And I went and so that trip was like for sure one of my favorites. Yeah. And it was really cold, even though it was very early in the year. But it was so awesome. And we went and bought our authentic dirndls. Oh, cool. And then we woke up super early. We woke up at like 3 in the morning.
Oh, gee.
Got ready at the hostel. And the hostel was so cool. So this trip would be further up. I was just, if we're ranking the places and not the trips. So. Yeah. But it was so fun. And then went to Oktoberfest. And it was like
You incredible. Guys woke up at 3 a.m.? Yeah. Did you have to like drive far or something?
We had to, it was, I think like a 30-minute train ride, but we Ubered. It was probably like a 20-minute Uber because it's at this big campground essentially. Okay. And then we thought we were going to have to wait in line forever. And we ended up being, like, literally the first ones there.
So you got there 8 a.m.?
We got there really early, like, way earlier. Because I think they opened, I forget when they opened the door.
You got there at 6 a.m.
No, I'm not
You're
kidding.
like, who are these American girls?
No, literally. But we got there at the same time. There was these other kids studying that came from America, too. And so we, like, we were up in line with them for, like, hours. And it was ridiculous. Like, until they let us in. It was actually insane.
You were there before they even opened?
We were there hours before they opened because the line was so that's what we'd always been told. You have to, so basically how Oktoberfest works is they let you in. You don't have a ticket to Oktoberfest at all.
Okay.
They just open the gates at, I forget what time it was, probably like 10.
Okay.
Or maybe 9, I don't know. And then you book it and have to get a table. So we met up with some of our friends and who were also in the hostel with us. And they came and joined us. They got there a little bit later. And then it was like probably, I don't know, 10 of us. And then we sent like 2 of our friends who we knew were fast runners, and we were like, guys, book it.
Oh, gee.
And then like when you had to run and stake down your table because everyone's like fighting over tables. You want to have the best table, and you want to get a table, otherwise you're just standing. Like you have to have a table to order food and to order beer, which is like one of the main reasons to be in a tent. And there's like an American study abroad tent, and so that's where we went to. It's so cool. There's like different like more like locals tents. It was the coolest experience ever, and we ended up being at a table right by the band. It was just incredible.
Wait, that's awesome. I never even knew that it functioned like that.
Yeah, because I thought you bought a ticket to Oktoberfest. Like no, you just book it and try to get a table. It was that's crazy, so fun, and everyone's in their dirndls and their lederhosens. It was incredible. So I definitely want to go back again. Like I would absolutely go to Oktoberfest again.
That sounds just awesome.
Yeah, so that trip way higher up. Don't let that deceive you. And then my last one I did, it was Madrid. We might have just not, and I know this is definitely going to get some hate because a lot of people at UNC study abroad in Madrid and love it. And I think that we just didn't do it right.
Okay.
But I liked a lot of parts of Madrid. It was very cool. Felt a little bit more authentic in some places than Barcelona. Like I think Barcelona is just so worldly, and Madrid's a little bit more like traditional Spanish.
Okay.
Like they had very traditional tapas places, which I liked.
Okay.
So it was fun, but I just didn't. There wasn't as much to see. Like I felt like, why would you go to Madrid over Barcelona when Barcelona has the beach? Barcelona just has more to do. There's not as much. There's museums in Madrid, but there's less to do. So that was last on my list, but hard to rank everything.
I know. You didn't make it to Portugal, did you?
I really wanted to.
I want to go to Portugal.
Yeah. My sister's going this summer, and I'm very jealous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I feel like even if you go back, you just can't hit everything. You're not, I mean, over your lifetime, you're just going to have to keep going back and do it.
I know.
Slowly, because you can't do it all at once.
No. Okay, wait, last question. What would be the next place if you could go anywhere in the world with no reason not to go? Didn't have to spend any money. Where would you go?
Like if I had an unlimited budget?
Unlimited budget.
I already told you I would go to Switzerland. That's like my thing. I have to go to Switzerland. I have to see where they filmed Sound of Music in I think it's in Austria. Yeah. Right. That's my favorite movie of all time. Okay, I have to see that. I didn't know that. Yes, I love that movie.
Wait, that's really funny.
Like Sound of Music, yes. Like literally for Secret Santa this year, Mackenzie got me a Sound of Music coffee mug.
Wait, why did I not know that about you?
Like,
that's great. Really funny.
So,
it's a good movie, though.
It's an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. I watch it every year. Like, I love it. I love Julie Andrews. Okay, anyway. Sound of Music, I have to go to Austria and see that. I want to go to Prague. I've heard just, like, great things about it. You just
listed 3 places. I give you 1 place.
And Portugal. I really want to go to Portugal because I want to practice my Portuguese, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to go
Where would you go in Portugal?
I don't know. Just go.
Yeah, I feel like most people that I knew had gone to Lisbon.
Okay.
Or Porto.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
if I had to pick one place, Australia. Sydney. Yeah. Just because it's so different than anywhere I've gone. And one of my, a couple of my friends actually are studying abroad there right now.
Yeah.
And I'm very jealous.
See, to me, though, Australia is so similar to the United States in a way. Just maybe just because it's like English speaking to me. but it's different. It's like the Aussies.
Yeah.
And there's kangaroos and koala bears. And...
Yeah, because I just wanted to study abroad somewhere that didn't speak English, I think was my main thing. Just for more immersion, I guess.
Yeah. I want to go to Saudi Arabia.
That would be cool.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the... No. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I meant Dubai.
Yeah.
I want to go to Dubai. Because I feel like it'd be cool there.
Yeah.
And the place where everyone rode the camels. Is that Morocco or Monaco?
Morocco. That was also on my list of places to go. Because Morocco is really easy to get to from Spain. So a lot of people went from Barcelona. But it was just kind of a whole trek. You had to you have to book a guide. And then you have tents and you're riding camels. And it's a whole experience. But you kind of have to plan ahead a lot to do that.
Yeah.
And that didn't end up happening for us, but
no, one of my friends went and she stayed in this tent in the desert.
Yeah,
and
that's literally what you do.
It was crazy, but it looked awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
But yeah, no, so I think that's all for our third episode on When in Rome. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, see you guys next time.